going on, everybody? Thanks for joining us for another recap of The Mandalorian. AJ isn't here with us today, but he would like for me to say this is the last week that no, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say no, I'm not gonna say what you think I'm gonna say. But this is the last week you'll be seeing that intro. I promise you. New intro is coming. But
trust me, Dee and I have been bothering for a good minute about this intro. So don't blame us.
I have nothing but time this week, so I get them done. But with me today, we have Courtney. Courtney, what's going on?
You know, again, I'm going to flex the fact that I did secure a Naomi Osaka shirt. And again, I just keep winning. So I'm not going to give my address, but I got third in a row, Ivy Park merch secured. And Joe's in the chat. Like, I got the masks. No, it's so funny. Michael was supposed to get it for me. I was like, "Oh, baby, I love you. I don't trust you to do this. I've been to this rodeo too many times to trust you to do it."
You did right because you like if you left it up to him, you would be empty-handed just like I am. But but Dee, what's going on?
Beyonce was looking out for me.
Better. I'm good. I'm happy. This is gonna be a holiday week.
I have a question for you though.
No.
Okay. All right.
Oh, by the way, I will just say, I think that we're not going to have our political episode on Thursday, obviously, or this week at all. So this might be it for you seeing us this week. Yeah.
Yeah. So you will see us, of course, today, and then you may see us next Sunday. But our like weekly episodes, you won't see those. We'll be taking the week off to just eat and take a break. Get us some.
What's the question? I need to know now.
Oh, the question is, why did you put that shirt on?
Why did you put that shirt on? That shirt. That's the question.
I should have had my UAB shirt on. Like, no one told me this was college shirt night. Or whatever.
You didn't get the memo. You didn't check your messages.
I went to the Naomi Osaka University is where I went.
I digress. But anyway, let's get into the episode.
Sure, that's terrible.
Whatever. What do we think about the episode?
It was good. It was a filler, but we got something crazy. I was like, look, I've only seen it once, so I don't remember certain stuff because I've only seen it once. But I saw that moment. First of all, it was already distracted during that scene. So I had to rewind it. And I was like, whoa, hold on. What? I have thoughts about it, though, too. So we'll get into that.
What a face.
So
I know, just such a gorgeous face. Like,
a face.
Just the highlight of the episode. I'm just like, oh.
Dee, how you feel about this episode?
I have feelings. I have so many feelings. I think though that it made me think that there's going to be like a big, like they might just be revving it up for his big episode at the end because they've just been showing like just pieces of him, and we all know he's alive. We know, and I'm glad that they did that because I forgot that they didn't know until today.
I really forgot that they didn't know either.
Yeah, because I'm like, why are they so surprised? And I'm like, oh yeah,
only we saw that. Yeah,
right. But I enjoyed it. I mean, it's kind of hard to watch. What's her face now? Gina.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I saw that because we were just talking about the tweets last week, and I'm just like, I can't. She's not watchable anymore. So Disney, she's replaceable. She's extremely replaceable.
And it sucks because Cara Dune is such a great character.
Yeah, but I mean that the actress is replaceable. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like she's extremely replaceable. She needs to realize that it's not like she's like a big name or anything. So
it's just weird. Like it's like I wish you had worn your shirt because like she could have just been quiet. Like nobody asked her anything. She didn't have to give us the information she provided. She could have just been quiet.
But she refused. Like most white women, just can't.
Just can't shut up.
But let's talk about better things. So just Giancarlo Esposito. Hello.
Oh, the Baby Yoda eating thing, is that going to be a thing?
He's an asshole. Baby Yoda is an asshole. I mean, he's a typical toddler, but I'm just like, people are just like stating this child, and I feel like Disney's doing this on purpose because they're milking the Baby Yoda thing, but Disney's like, this child is an asshole. Like, I saw him stealing my food, and I'm just like, that kid did not owe him cookies.
It was so funny because I was
owe him cookies. I would have come in and beat some Baby Yoda ass if I found out some other child was stealing my child's cookies.
Especially when he said no.
He
Like,
said no.
they
I
need to be
was
teaching
like,
Baby Yoda consent.
like he needs to be teaching consent and manners. Like I understand Mando is living that single dad life, but you need to rear your child.
Bring it in.
Bring it in. I would have got my ass beat.
I'm really like, we don't need the cute Baby Yoda scene every episode now. Like we know he's here. Like, just let her rest.
That's what I'm like. I wish like
we're gonna get it.
I think it's because people are so obsessed. Like I went to Publix today and there's like Baby Yoda cereal. I can't go anywhere without seeing like Baby Yoda this and that, and I'm just like,
I was just gonna say, like,
it's
the sale merch. Like, it's definitely, because the moment after the egg eating episode, they dropped the Funko Pop with the canister of eggs. So it's the sale merch.
Genocidal Baby Yoda.
Right.
It's just like I need to rewatch the last season, but I feel like it was like way better balanced last season. But I think it's because people just went so, Baby Yoda, and then Disney's like dollar signs. So I'm just, please don't. It's gonna get to the point where Baby Yoda is like Jar Jar to me, except for like better characters somewhat. But I would like for Baby Yoda to fall in the background a little bit more, because it's not the Baby Yoda show; it is the Mandalorian. So
the good thing is, remember when I asked y'all about why he didn't do anything when they were, like running from the spiders. It showed that he could do something. Because I know that didn't take much for him to grab to take the cookies or like macaroons or whatever. But he took them. But it didn't take much for him to take them. And I know it's not like as strenuous as anything else, but it shows that he does have the capacity.
Just not a good person. It's a child.
Yeah, he just
well, I mean, our toddlers in general just aren't good people. They're just not. It's like that tweet that's like, what if your baby doesn't have good vibes? Like, no toddler has good vibes. Like,
my babies are fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, D is like every night begging, like, does anyone want a child?
So D, do we have to bring up the group meeting?
She's like, please, I'm begging.
That was supposed to be between. That was sacred. How dare you? How could you?
Every time, and it's just like everyone I know with a toddler is just like, please, can I just like send the toddler away and it take my child back when it's not a toddler?
Perfect angels. But yeah, so it's just like y'all said, it's getting to the point where they're teetering towards doing too much. They're okay for now, I think, but they're kind of like.
I wouldn't mind an episode. I wouldn't mind it if they just had Baby Yoda get kidnapped for a couple episodes, just so I can get some breathing room. He jumps like that weird, way that you agreed. You're just like, yeah, I just totally thought this child getting kidnapped.
Like that weird season of like Sons of Anarchy where they like abducted like Jax's kid and they were looking for the kid the entire season. Yeah.
Like The Walking Dead.
Yeah, someone take Baby.
I'm so afraid to like not have it. Just like have Baby Yoda get kidnapped.
Yeah.
And then I need breathing room. Like I like Baby Yoda. Like I'm one of those people. Like I thought Baby Yoda was really cute and funny, but they are going overboard with it, in my opinion. They're crossing the line of like I'm annoyed. Like that scene would have been. I think it's like he's nowhere close to Huey. I don't agree with AJ, but I agree. It's like in Huey in the way that like it would be better if it wasn't so much of it. Like I think the cookie eating scene would have been to me even better if they just didn't have so much of it going on. I did like the scene at the very beginning because if you grew up in a working class family, that was you. Like your father using your child size to advantage. It's like, no, you need to do this and this and this. Like I felt that deep in my soul. It's like I thought that was really cute. Like that kind of stuff is awesome. I love that.
I was about to say, I don't think my mom is watching, but my tiny hands definitely had to light the pilot a few times. So so shout out. Yeah, I'm not. Shout out to you for
my mom's gonna be watching later, and she's gonna be like, "Jay did what?"
Yeah,
she's gonna be
that plus the patience. I like that part too. That Mando had to he was like,
he's such a good dad, except for
show me the red one. Okay,
he needs to rear his child a little bit better.
Yeah, so it was cool.
Did your father other than doing that?
Did y'all pick up on the guy, I say guy, but whoever was helping rebuild the ship when he kind of looked back? Did y'all pick up that it looked like he was kind of something
Shady.
weird
I thought
happening
he
there.
was suspect. Yeah, I have a
Okay,
feeling. I don't trust people like that anyway. But yeah, I have a feeling. I have a feeling there might be some kind of betrayal. Or
Oh yeah,
something.
Oh, it definitely was.
that was revealed. So
Yeah, it absolutely was a betrayal.
so yeah, let's
100%.
get it. Let's actually like brief recap of the episode, and then we'll dive deeper. So stop me if you've heard this before, but Mando needs to stop on a planet because his ship needs repairs, and in
Again.
exchange for the repairs, people on that planet need a favor. Like, once again, stop me if you've heard this before. So he meets up with Grief. I forgot his last name, but basically Carl Weathers. Shout out to Carl Weathers, who also directed.
I just kept calling him Carl Weathers.
Yeah, and Cara Dune. So they there's one last Imperial base on this planet, which is Navarro. So they have to. They're basically going to raid this base to see, just to poke our heads in, see what's going on. But there is a discovery in this, and so yeah, Courtney,
Forrest Daddy shows up.
Yeah, I basically.
I'm sorry, not Forrest. He's not Forrest, but he's yeah.
I basically want to fast forward into that to Courtney, so we could get into basically what you think was revealed at this base.
This is my thought. So basically, they're making clones again, but they're using. So now we figure out why they wanted Baby Yoda so bad. Because I'm like, are they trying to raise him on the dark side or whatever? They're using. I really like this because this is kind of like different in the Star Wars universe, different-ish. They're making they're using Baby Yoda's DNA to make a force-sensitive clone army. I personally think it's going to be that. And this is a theory because I kept looking at it because I am strongly observing Giancarlo Esposito, strongly observing Moff Gideon. But there's a lot of Darth Vader imagery going on with him, down to the suit, just to, even to the way he speaks. I don't think that's on accident. And I make the force choking jokes, but now I'm like, oh no, I don't. He can't actually do that. I don't think he's actually force sensitive. I think he desperately wants to be a Sith, and I think he is, but I don't think he's force sensitive. I think not only is he trying to do a force, wielding clone army, but I think he's going to try to find a way to get himself force capabilities, which I think is really interesting because I think he is I think he really wants to be Darth Vader. I don't think all that stuff is on an accident. I'm like he wants to emulate being the next Darth Vader. So I think that's what's going on. And I think the guys is going to be like, oh, this is the big reveal. We have a force wielding clone army, but also imagine that if you were able to give any random person force wielding capabilities. So, because that would really fuck the Jedi up even more. If you could just give anybody the Force. So I really like that concept.
So it's funny that you mentioned that because I actually there are two things that I think are happening in addition to that, because we do agree on that, but I do think there is something else at play here. So basically, long story short, our good old friends midichlorians are back. There was a mention of the midichlorians.
I was going to say that the midichlorians are back, but maybe they can make them redeemable.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're doing.
I trust Dave Filoni with every fiber of my being. So he's going to be in the next episode, doing the next episode. So I think I trust him to kind of re-guide and repackage, because that's what he's really good at, is making what's in George Lucas's head makes sense and better. Because I don't think George Lucas can make what is in George Lucas's head make sense, but I think Dave Filoni is that perfect. He can make it make sense if that does make sense. So
no, that makes sense. So in that message that is conveniently left there for them to discover from Moff Gideon,
very conveniently,
we learned that of course Baby Yoda's blood has a very high midichlorian count. They're using that blood to basically to do some basically some intergalactic stem cell research type things. I think this is what I'm getting at. If you saw there was a encasing and there was a human body and there a disfigured looking body. I think that's Snoke.
Yeah, I think that's Snoke too. I think I even saw on Reddit where someone's like that's got to be Snoke, and that's probably how Snoke came to be. I would like that again, making things make more sense. I would love it.
Okay, D.
All right. See, this is what we need.
All right, so so in the sequel trilogy, we're introduced to a new Sith Lord by the name of Snoke. Like his
He was
origins.
supposed to be so much cooler.
Yeah, his origins are pretty vague. He's all we know is that he has the figured face, and
he's ugly.
Yeah, he's ugly, and he's serving someone who we later find out is Palpatine, which brings me to my next point. We do know that they don't want people to think that Palpatine was out here getting the cheeks, so they retconned his origin. They took Palpatine's.
I just love how quickly they retconned that.
They're like, no,
like within days.
Yeah, that's no.
No.
Yeah, that's no.
Within days.
They're like, oh. But yeah, so
yeah, I know how I feel about that.
So what they did with Palpatine is that they basically, and this is so weird, but they harness his consciousness and they put it into a clone body. And I think they're going to use the Mandalorian as a vessel to carry out that retcon now, because that's where we're getting at. So I think we're getting Snoke, and I also think they're gonna like drop some brief mention of like, hey, we can also, you know, use these bodies as like vessels, because basically they were to create Palpatine, they were taking like a lot of like body tissue, and that's why in Rise of Skywalker he says I'm in the imperfect vessel, and he was, you know, hooked up looking like Zordon at the end. But yeah, so that's what they were doing, and I don't think they've reached a point where it's basically perfect yet or works completely. So I think that's where we're getting. So we're definitely gonna get Snoke, because Snoke is a clone. So Snoke is Snoke,
and that makes
works.
way more sense. Mm-hmm. That makes way more sense. So
but with the Palpatine thing, that's a totally different thing altogether, where they're taking someone's consciousness and putting it into a clone. So that's why Palpatine doesn't really work in Rise of Skywalker. So that's why I think we're going. And I don't think that was I don't think that disfigured body was just, you know, in there accidentally. I think that was showing us that, hey, like we're now creating Snoke.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. And like I said, I think that might be Moff Gideon's end, is that he's trying to be Darth Vader, right? Mm-hmm. So I think like there's like greater, you know, I don't think he's the biggest bad, but I think that's his goal. Mm-hmm. And then the biggest bad is using that for possibly Palpatine, because he may not even know about Palpatine. Right. So, but yeah, it's so crazy about the midichlorians, because did we not just? I brought it up.
Just mentioned
we were mentioning. I'm like, I wonder if that's how they can justify like the Yoda race being so strong in the Force. Like midichlorians, they can try. Like I said, it was presented so goofy in the prequels, but like I said, I trust Filoni to be able to make it make sense. So I'm hoping, because like and I get them bringing it back, because if you're going to do this timeline, you have to make it like a DNA type biology thing with the Force, because it can't be random if you're trying to harness it. And basically, like he said, do stem cell research with it. It has to have some kind of biological purpose. So I get that.
And to me, that actually opens up an interesting premise, because D, now I'm about to talk about your new favorite clip on Freddie Prinze Jr. and talk about how there needs to be balance within the Force. Well, like real world implications, when people will talk about like things like stem cell research or whatever, they talk about like, oh, you're playing God, you're disrupting the natural balance of the universe. So that could be an interesting premise if you're basically
like an ethics.
Yeah,
if you're with the Jedi.
Exactly. If you're manufacturing like basically the Force, and you're disrupting the Force by doing so. So I think this could present
because we don't really talk about ethics in Star Wars. Star Wars is not more about ethics. Like with the Jedi, it's like morals, and I want to remind people morals and ethics are not the same thing at all. So I'm like, I guess just because like the field and stuff I'm in, like, ooh, like having ethics talk in fantasy might bore some people, but it genuinely excites me. So I would love for it to get that deep. Please, I'm begging. That would be exciting. I would forgive all of the Baby Yoda being an asshole. Still bring that back. If we could just bring it back. I'm Disney. Just have him get kidnapped or something, or use the Force and he has to pass out for an episode again. That's fine. That's how they balanced it out last season. Is that like he was like out for like an episode or two. So can we do it again? Like you repeat stuff a lot. If you can we just do it again?
Right now.
Or maybe he goes into a food coma or something. I don't know. Just like calm him down.
So D, you said there was potentially a betrayal at the end of this episode. You want to talk about what you possibly caught to let us believe that basically Mando was betrayed when his ship was getting repaired?
Yeah, and because I didn't rewatch season 1, I'm gonna throw that out there. So I misremembered the whole thing because in my mind, by the way, he's forever for Action Jackson to me, so that's his name. But in my mind, they were not they weren't allies. I didn't remember them making up after he left with the child. So when he went back to him, I was kind of like, oh, this seems kind of odd. But then I'm like, okay, well, I guess they made up. I don't know. So when whoever it was, he was like, I'm gonna get my best guys on it. And the guy kind of, whoever the alien person was, looked back like he was kind of confused, or it looked like mutiny was afoot or whatever. And then we see that it was. I'm wondering, did he bug the ship or something? Like, did he put something in there? Did he just tip?
Or maybe I think he might be tipping Moff Gideon off.
Just tell him like, hey,
the ship is definitely
the
bugged because they said they put a tracker on the
and that would make that would kind of, to me, tie in with the fact that the beacon is on.
With the beacon.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, because even if and to your point, even if he turns the beacon back off, it won't matter because they're now being tracked.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking it is.
So maybe they tied it in with the beacon, and he has to have
especially since they made it a point for us to see that video hologram transmission of him saying, it wasn't enough. Like, we didn't have enough blood to keep. I can only get so much not to kill him. In other words, it's kind of saying we need more. So,
or maybe they're gonna try to use them to track him back to the Yoda's planet. Because if that's not enough, like imagine that tiny baby body. It's like if you could just like exploit the whole population, which I'm sure they might be endangered with the way that they're talking about it. So then maybe there's like let them take them back, and we're just gonna follow. So I can see that happening.
Yeah, but I'm 100% convinced that it's.
Oh yeah, I got
put something in there.
Again, it's just like something like after watching Game of Thrones, you just never will trust again.
So is Cara? Is that her name? Is Cara Kira?
Yeah, I think it's Cara Dune. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she good?
Who is replaceable? Gina, you're replaceable.
Yeah, Gina Carano is
now because I can't tell whether she's good or bad because I only see her as bad because of the actress.
No, she's
so
good.
Is she
good. She's good. I just don't like her anymore.
Okay.
I used to really like her. Disney replace her. Like you can replace the actress.
Who was that? Was that, or am I misremembering? Was that one of the same officers that got Mando that was talking to her at the end? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
So basically, he's trying to recruit Cara Dune now because he said, we checked your records. You're a great soldier. By the way, worst recruitment tactics been like, oh yeah, how many people did you lose? Like, maybe don't do that. Maybe don't.
Yeah, that was awful.
I don't join. You know what she said? I don't join. Like, okay, girl.
But considering who the actress is, I'm sure she would love to be a cop.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, I do.
I'm
think
over her. I can't. I hate it because I can't like the character anymore.
Yeah, it's difficult.
It's difficult.
So
I
do think that's a way. That's a way that they basically keep her. Unfortunately, in this show, is that she does end up. Oh
my god! If she becomes a cop.
Yeah.
That's so awful. At least I can like justify hating the character then.
Yeah.
It's perfect though. It'll go right into her personality. So we
her immediately just snitching on Mando,
like pulling over Mando, like what are you doing over here, boy? Like just.
But like y'all said, the episode didn't. The episode was good. Like it was.
I'm glad it wasn't like 100% filler. Like I was expecting and it was. It's like, oh, he needs repairs on the ship again, but like we actually got some like oh shit moments. Yeah. So. And I got to see Moff Gideon, and that's all I want.
So here's what I think is what's coming next. I think we're finally setting up.
Episodes.
Yeah, we're setting up to where like it's not going to take it's not gonna take any
Ahsoka.
episodes off going here on. So next,
Ahsoka's
basically,
such a bad bitch. I can't
I
wait.
think we're going straight to Ahsoka. We know that.
Z,
but-
you're gonna love Ahsoka. Like she is like that bitch. Like imagine being Anakin's Padawan. She's a certified bad bitch.
But also, did you peep the dark stormtroopers? Like
That's what I was gonna say. I thought it was like a army of
Only
Vader.
like I said, it's only something that Filoni would be able to get.
Right. So this
So-
is
Like a whole
where
bunch
we're
of
heading.
Vader.
We're heading for like a really big conflict, and I think after this point, there's not going to be any episodes off. I think from here on out, like
It's
like-
gonna be like you can't breathe. Almost.
right, and I do appreciate
Right.
that. I appreciate taking the time because, like, looking back now, like there was one episode I could do without, but most of these moments have been building up to this.
And that's
huge
why
conflict.
I don't like with people that's like, oh, filler. Like when you get to like the where it's like episode back to back to back, and it's almost like you're overwhelmed, you can't breathe. That's
Mhm.
when you appreciate the build up episodes because it's like you don't want a whole season where it's just like overwhelming. You need the calmer times too. So I'm hoping, like I said, I trust Dave Filoni with my life. So I'm sure. I'm pretty sure George Lucas legitimately trusts Dave Filoni with his
No, he
life.
does. Yeah.
That's his, like literally his Padawan right there.
I think it's cool though that they are changing the armor or whatever, the uniforms or whatever it is, because it's different DNA, right? So you wouldn't make them look like stormtroopers if you're now using Yoda.
Yeah,
or
they need that
Baby Yoda.
separation.
Yeah, we got to keep them separate. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to separate
make
the
them look
stormtroopers,
cooler.
the stormtroopers who
black and
can
white
shoot from the ones who can't shoot. We gotta keep them
segregation.
separate. Yeah.
Oh yeah, imagine that. That's all it is. The stormtroopers that they can aim.
Oh, so the black stormtroopers
black
can
ones.
shoot. Yeah, but just third eye open. But no, I think next episode is gonna be really good. I can't wait to get to it. I can't wait to get to it. Yeah.
It's gonna be so good. I'm telling you, like y'all are gonna love Ahsoka. I'm biased. She was my favorite. Certified bad bitch. Love her. We're probably not gonna get that much of her, and it'll make me sad. But she's excellent. So
But she'll be there, so at least we'll see her.
Mhm.
Yeah. Rosario Dawson.
See, we got all of our Giancarlo Esposito moments. So
Have it. I'm gonna let you have it.
I need
Yeah,
I need a
waiting.
helmetless moment with
Because it's
Pedro
coming.
Pascal.
See, he lifted a little bit so he could eat. So he's like,
Well, he also let
Teasing us.
Baby Yoda see his face. So I'm like, I'm wondering if it's different because I'm like, this is my child. This is my baby.
this is my child.
And then I made the mistake of like kind of reading threads and stuff about it. And then people were like, wait, do the Death Watch Mandalorians just fuck with the helmets on? That's crazy.
I mean, they never take it
Why?
off.
Why, Courtney? Why?
Yeah.
It's a genuine question. It's the same thing that listen, Disney, you open yourselves up to this.
Yeah.
It was free Disney. What was Disney who set this up? You open yourself up to this. It's the same thing as like someone let Palpatine cough to his cheek. Like you open yourself up to this.
Yeah, like I told y'all
All right,
about
so I'm
Palpatine.
asking you, George Lucas.
That Palpatine
Disney,
hammer.
do Death Watch Mandalorians take their helmets off because they do reproduce? I'm pretty sure.
Allow me to remove my loin armor. This is the way.
This is
This is the way. So they can't even see each other. That's the thing. They can't even see each other. Okay, so
Yeah. So which can become problematic. But anyway, I think that's all we have for this episode.
End him over here.
Yeah. That's all we have for this episode. So like I said, we won't have our
Thursday or
midweek
Friday.
episodes, but we'll be back to talk Mandalorian next Sunday. It's gonna be a really good episode. So
It's gonna be
stick
awesome.
stick with us. Any closing thoughts before we head out?
If you can help it, don't travel for Thanksgiving. It sucks. I know I'm not traveling, and I'm just gonna make turkey breast because I'm not about to make that much turkey. I'm not about that. But if you are traveling, if you decide to, please quarantine. Care about other people. Be safe as possible, and then quarantine after the fact. But we all have to be in this together as a group because our government's not going to do it for us. So just suck it up because you don't want this to be your last Thanksgiving or a family member's last Thanksgiving. So just please, I don't know how to tell you, just care about other people, care about
Mhm.
yourself. Doesn't your age, your health does not matter. It can fuck you up. So I'm asking you, honestly, just don't travel. It's not worth it this year. I know it's gonna suck, but imagine if you passed it on to a family member and they die, and then everything's giving on, and you look at that empty chair, and it was because you were careless.
Mhm.
And it's not. Nothing has changed. I think that's the weird thing. People
It's
are
gotten
like
worse. Yeah.
It's gotten
pretending
10
like
times worse.
all of a sudden.
I
now we're
noticed
fine.
because y'all are buying up the toilet paper again, but not the hand soap. Do we need to have another episode about why you need to be bathing properly? Like the hand soap was full, the toilet paper was running out. I'm like, something's not added up. The math is not mathing here.
I'm
2
just
plus
saying,
2
if
is
you're
2 plus 2
home,
is equaling 2. So
if you're home and you run out of toilet paper, you can remedy that better than not having soap. That's what we're saying.
Mhm.
That's all we're saying.
just you need
Do
to be
something
washing
about
your
not having
hands.
toilet paper.
You need to be washing your hands, you nasties.
The soap can help with the toilet paper thing. That's
Yeah.
all we're saying.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So in closing,
But be safe.
stay home.
Be safe. Be
Wash
Have a happy
your
sanitary.
hands. Be
Wash
safe.
your hands. Wash your legs.
Wash
Wash your
legs.
body.
Just wash
Shower,
your body.
please.
Yeah. I please.
And catch us when we come back.
That's
Peace.
right.